Hey everybody, it's Eric from EPautos.com, your libertarian car guy. They just dropped off a Toyota Crown Signia for me to test drive, and I got to looking at some of the stats on the car, and that got me to thinking about something. The Crown, as you may know, is the replacement for the Avalon, which was formerly Toyota's top-of-the-line car. It was a full-size sedan, and the interesting thing to me about it is that when it was last available, which was 2022, so 2.5 years ago, you could buy one for a little over $36,000, and it came standard with a V6. Well, the Crown that replaces it comes standard with a 4, a hybridized 4, and it costs about $42,000. Now, granted, some of that is inflation, but nonetheless, there's certainly shrinkflation in the fact that you no longer can even get a 6-cylinder engine in the replacement for the Avalon. And if you want something that is comparable in terms of power, it's available. Toyota offers a turbo hybrid variant of that same drivetrain in the Crown, and that kicks it up to 340 horsepower. The old V6 made 301, so it's more power, but the performance is about the same because the Crown is substantially heavier, probably because it is a hybrid, and you've got the additional weight of the additional drivetrain elements. But the price, holy cow, is about $54,000, I think it is. There is a roughly $18,000 increase, in other words, to get something that is power/performance equivalent in a Crown versus what you used to get in an Avalon. And I got to thinking about how much a Lexus used to cost. Now, again, to be clear, I am not slamming the Crown at all. It's a nice car, and I'll have a full review about it. But it's also a pretty expensive car. $54,000. I can remember when you could get a nice Lexus sedan for that. And I don't know how many Toyota buyers are going to line up to pay $54,000. I don't know how many people can afford to buy a $54,000 car. I think that's the thing that I wanted to talk about a little bit. This sort of taking away from ordinary Americans, regular people. Regular people used to be able to afford a car like the Avalon. $36,000. It's not like an inexpensive car, but it's also not a luxury priced car. An average middle-income person could certainly afford to buy and own and drive a nice big sedan with a V6 engine, and that wasn't the only one that was available. The Avalon's primary competitors were, of course, the Dodge Charger and its Chrysler badged sibling, the Chrysler 300, and both of those came standard with the V6 and were available with V8s. It used to be common for ordinary Americans to be driving vehicles with 6-cylinder engines. Not so much anymore. Now when you're spending $50,000+, you get a 4-cylinder engine, maybe turbocharged, maybe hybridized. But it just seems to me that there is this trend going on to just push the bulk of Americans into these dreary little appliances that maybe have a little 4 or a 3-cylinder engine, and they look upon their neighbor's 6-cylinder powered car as some sort of exotic luxury car, kind of in the way that, 10 years ago, people would look at their neighbor's V12 powered Mercedes. It's really quite something. I've got an article up on the site that gets into this a little bit in depth. You might be interested in checking that out. And I'll have more about the Crown Signia. The Signia is basically just a wagon/crossover version of the Crown on the site as well. And I think I'm going to be on Guard Goldsmith's Liberty Conspiracy either tonight, today is Wednesday, or Thursday, depending on how we can coordinate our schedules. So I'll have more about that. I hope you can stop by and check it out, and we'll have more for you again soon.